Set sail, everyone. Welcome to Nautilus News. Guys, I have got a ton to show you. So much stuff to show you from Google Earth, places all over the world that are just going to confirm and prove a great deal of things. Many, many things. Let me tell you what we're going to be looking at here. For starters, we're going to be looking at the beasts of Daniel from his vision from the book of Daniel that was written around 600 BC. A couple of giant birds and a cobra that stretch hundreds, if not 1,000 or thousands of miles wide in the sea. I found Loki and Thor and Loki's children. We're going to be taking a look at them. The Rat Islands are a major point of interest. They hold many of the islands there are titans, monsters that you would recognize from old sailors' maps of sea serpents and such. So we're going to be looking at dragons, sea serpents. Let me see what else. Basically, giant trees, leaves, the prints in the hills, all that stuff. We're going to see everything big. We're kept looking at the skies, and the truth is under our feet. The things that we live on, all the land of the world, can be accounted for as living giant beasts that are the products of evil. And I'm going to explain this all to you here. I have nothing but visual proof. There's going to be two main parts of this video. First, I'm going to take you through Google Earth. This is just a short introduction. I'm going to take you through Google Earth, show you the key points of interest, where to study. Be sure to pause locations, look very intently, take down coordinates. If you have any questions, let's have a discussion, family-friendly discussion down below. By the end of the video, I'm going to show you how they all lay out. I'm going to show you when the beasts collided. We moved about the earth. Religion divided. They all had their own regions. Different monsters died in different places. And based on where you live, you had your own lore of what was there. Your own false gods, religions, to things to worship monsters. And you're going to see that by the time you see it all from above, how they come together, just how all religion of the world comes together, where it all fits in, why they seem to have a core, things like the tree of life at the center of the earth. They all have their similarities, but why are they all different and how do they fit together? Well, I'm going to show you how in this video. So stay tuned for all the evidence from start to finish. Like I said, it's going to be the single most revealing video of our world history that you'll probably ever see. So, let's sail. This is how an angel goes. Blame it on my own surprise. Blame it on my ADD, baby. Sail. Alright guys, so kicking off this first part of the video, again there's going to be a second part. We're just going to do some quick surfing around. I'll show you where some things are, and then I'll do a highlighted section with nothing but pictures, tons of pictures to show you guys all over. We're going to start out in this area right here though and discuss what Daniel saw in his dream in the book of Daniel. So he claims to have seen 4 beasts from the clouds, and he wrote his book at about 600 BC. I just do want to show you a few pictures real quick. He saw something like a lion type beast, one like a bear, one that had 4 heads, and then the main beast with many crowns. in about 1529, some people got together and they were discussing what he saw. They came up with this map and the following map in 1530. I believe that these points, areas here, are actually the heads of the seven-headed dragon, the beast, probably Leviathan. I don't know for sure. They seem to have mixed up where they put the beast. They just switched. They say this is Europe, Asia, and Africa. But I believe that this is Australia, and this is the mass next to it, out in the water. And they've reversed the beasts. This is actually represents this whole island. And then this four-headed beast here lays right across this area, with the lion being here. I don't know where the bear is in this area, but this, by the way, is Fiji Island. Guarantee it. Fiji Island right at the center of the dragon. So let's move on. I'm trying to be quick with all that. I got so much to show you guys. So they come up with the chimera. This is ever so popular throughout history. The chimera of the beasts put together. And you see represented just how things are always weaved together. I'm going to show you how all these things lay out on the land. We'll get back to that. And they are all a giant insult to God. So, here is what Daniel saw. If you take this mass and you put this together, it looks just like whatever Africa or they had put there. Real quick, we'll take a look at the bottom. I'm going to show you exactly how Australia is the chimera, the true chimera on Earth. So if you look at it, this is it one way upside down. This is the dead lamb's head. You see the lamb here. This is the nose. This is the snout area. This is his open, bloodied mouth. This is the eye of the lamb. And this is all the wool of the lamb with his ear and his underjaw. Major insult to the Lamb of God. I'm going to show you guys a lot of stuff that has to do with like Norse mythology, this and that, but this is how you're going to know that in the end they're always talking about Jesus. So I want you guys to know that I am a Christian, no matter what you see here in this video. Taking a look down here, these are the beasts. You'll see this is a lion's head. This is the bear. And then you have, this is a head. Let me zoom in here. I'll try and get closer. There are going to be pictures. I will do these will all be part of the highlights as well. So I will do further examination on this in the video. Let's see, there we go. Maybe that was almost too much. And this is, like say there's an eye. This is the mouth and the neck. This is the neck, comes up. This is bottom jawline, the mouth. Here's an ear. There's an ear. This is his eye. This is his nose. That's number 2. This guy's a little tougher to see. He's more imprinted into the land. But you see the structure of the 4th head here. So it's a mouth. This is probably a tongue or something. He's there, and then let me just give a slight turn. Right here, that's his brow line. This is the eye. This is the over part of his head. And if you follow this line here, that is the other brow line. This is his beak snapped off. This was the part of his beak. It fit right on there. That was his beak sticking out, his bottom jaw. Okay, so study this intently, all this stuff. Get closer to it as you study. You know, get on the site yourself and move out a bit. I will show you the bear. Gonna have to. You got the back of the bear come up here, obviously. This is his ear. This is the head of the bear. This is his nose. And these are his teeth right here. Those are his teeth, and this, of course, being the eye. So move on to the lion's head. Here you got the main lion, his big old bottom jawline, his top nose, his eye. And then this is either like the bull wrapped up in the one chimera thing that I showed you, or the snake. They often depict a snake woven in, because I do believe that you might be able to, like right here and right here, might be hoofs from where the bull was weaved in there. But that's probably a serpent of some kind. So moving on, let's take a look at the 7-headed dragon beast Leviathan. Guys, I got tons to show you. Forgive me for being a little slow with this program here. Look, so this is the start of head 1, right down here. I believe this in some way is a head. There's more clear pictures. I'll just move on to the next heads, like right here. Check out this head. This is the bottom jaw. These are the little teeth, little dots. Top jawline right here. This is his eye. Here's the head. And then you got kind of that dragon weaved whatever stuff around his neck, like the Dilophosaurus or whatever from Jurassic Park. Here's his neck. Follow this thing. These things, let's take a look at it from a different angle. Sometimes you got to do that. So look, you start to see there's like this head feature. These are the nostrils, beak. This would be an eye area. You got this neck, which leads up. This guy's got this mouth right here. His eye slit. He's got some sort of. They talk about how these things were crowned or had horns. You see this eyeball here, horned crown thing. Let me show you this big old bird. Y'all see this stuff. I'll show it to you in the highlights where I'm already zoomed in at the right angle. Let's move on to bigger stuff. We'll keep the this section short. This is a big old bird. Let's see if I can give a small turn. This is what I like to refer to as a Noah's bird. Here's the bottom tail feathers, comes right up. These are his back feathers. And then here you got his eye, his beak, his mouth. It's almost like he was grabbing that leaf to bring back to tell Noah that he found land. But then these are get to this later. I believe that's a scorpion. That's part of the cobra in a way, if you get me. Giant insult to God right here. And then this cobra, his tongue sticks out and it rides right up onto the neck of the back of this bird. So anyways, we'll get into more of this later. Let's move on to Loki and his children and Thor. Oh, you know what? Let me do the giant bird real quick. We'll get back to the giant bird. Or there he is. So let's just show you the giant bird. Now see, this is how this stuff. You'll see later on why the giant bird and the giant snake are so big in things like. I got a picture of like Mexico's flag. You
between that, the giant bird, the cobra, and the way the shape of Australia is with the cactus that sticks out, represents all the heads and everything there in that picture. So you got this big bird here. Zoom in real quick on him. Here's his neck. Then he's come down. He's got, these are his, like, one of his feet and claws. And then I can't stand this thing. This thing never wants to, it doesn't pick a direction that it wants to go. So anyway, so this bird here, now he rides up. He's got a massive, look how these lines go, where the feathers go. He stretches, he connects part of things too. I believe that he also is connected in one way with the serpent that rides around the earth. We'll get to that. But so if you look here, follow his wing path this way, and look at these feather patterns right here. They actually spring out just like feathers would at the end of a bird wing right here. These are bird feathers. So we'll do some close-ups on that again later. Again, gotta just try and keep moving on. Here's Loki right here. Just so you get a better understanding, this is just 2 more pictures in this section that I want to show you. So this is Loki, I believe another name for Lucifer. He's often depicted with his legs crossed, and see how they come direction. His right leg comes down this way. These pictures are clues. Now, if you take his arm and you consider that to be kind of serpent-like, like a hand, I'll get to that, you'll see he's got the wolf, that's his son Fenrir, or however you say it, below him. This is his other son, Gorgamond. He is this giant serpent that encircles the earth. Back here is his daughter, Hel. Hel, but also known as Hela. Pretty much rules the underworld and stuff of that nature. So getting to the next picture. Okay, so check this out. So here's Thor. Notice Thor's these wing ear feature on his head here. And notice Loki, the crest right here in the forehead with the horns. Then he's got some serpents around him. Now watch. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to say this is Loki and this is Thor, so look, let's just take a look at Loki. If you can imagine here, now the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing people that he wasn't there, or the world that he wasn't there. I'm going to show you everything on Earth is going to come up as a feature on land, except for Lucifer himself. He's not there. But if you notice, it's almost like he's sitting with his legs crossed, and there's that right leg, and it comes up, and there's his foot. There's the crest, right in the middle of his head. That's St. Charles, or Prince Charles Island, in the crest of his head. He's got this crown-like feature, and then also with like a snake right here, bottom jaw, and then like a horn as seen, or this could be like the end of the snake, like a rattlesnake. So if you take a look, I'll show you his children. Here's hell. Right here. This is hell. Said to be beautiful from the waist up and hideous from the waist down, because she was half alive and half dead. Now, in this halo-like feature of hell, Hela, who also kind of sounds like Allah backwards, satanic nature, they always like to do things in reverse. I might have the features, locations turned off to see things better, but at the middle of this island is called the Isle de Anticosti. Kind of sounds to me like Isle of the Antichrist. So that's what that island's called. And then here, hell, supposed to be ruler, whatever, of hell, basically. Comes down, she's hideous on the bottom. And then look, I'm gonna show you. Here's Fenrir. Zoom out a little. So Fenrir is the U.S. He's the wolf. This is his head. He's laying down. His right paw is Florida. This is his back hind legs. And they come down. This is probably the bone of his tail. Right here. And then this is his back legs. So if you come up, right in the eye of his, I'm going to get close-ups. I'm going to show you guys some things about him. This is the eye of Fenrir the wolf. This is the crest area of his head. This is back, like his brow line area back over here. And you follow these lines. This is his snout, his nose. Follow it right up along around where his mouth would be. Coming up to they got that real hairy cheek, you know, them wolves. That's a wolf. And then, so where I was getting at was the clue on that one picture of where his hand was kind of mitt-like or serpent-like. I figured that what a clue, because Michigan's like a paw. And that would rest about that area on the back of the wolf there. But let's take a look at this dragon here, where things start to get ugly for hell. These lakes were not shaped by glaciers. No water did not erode or cause any creation to landmass at all. This world was not shaped by water erosion. I've got more pictures of this. I'm going to show you. This is a dragon here. I got close-ups. He's got even the bone structure features. Look at this, is all wing skin. Look how the land lays out. And then his arm comes up, and there's his claw, hand, and then this is more wing. So look, again, we'll get back to this stuff. What do I want to move on to next? I think I'm gonna let's take a look at Thor real quick. I'll show you Thor. So Thor is Alaska. Again, you know, here's his body, and here's these broad wing type, whatever, golden boy shoulders that they always depict in the movies. Here's his head. Now here's those kicked back winged ears, and there's his eye, the nose, the mouth. So just so you know, we'll come back to him. There's Thor. He's Alaska. And I almost wondered if he used this island, which is just another creature. In one of my other videos, probably was used it as a hammer for all we know. Let's see here, but I got other stuff to show. Okay, so we're right here. Let me show you the Red Islands. The Red Islands are ever so popular to find titans. Let me tell you. Alright, I'm trying to keep this short, guys. Again, we'll get to all the close-ups here in just a minute. This part of the video is almost done. These are the Red Islands. This is where you're going to find all these little guys here. As big as these other things are, the fallen angels and their children, these little islands. And even this guy, he's a pretty big guy. He's something. All land is something. These little guys make up all kinds of big old titans. All kinds of stories. I'll show you and explain more and more throughout the video. I'm just trying to do a quick surf to show you where things are. Because we'll go through the pictures and I'll show you. I'm going to explain that right here. There's a claw right here. And this is obviously a scorpion. Now, the placement of the scorpion to that cobra is a very private area. Everything's an insult to God the way it's placed. It's all designed to be disgusting to him. Look right here. This is a pretty cool part right here. A lot of this stuff caused influence for a lot of music. You know, people talk about the musicians and elitists being in Hollywood and all that. They get their ideas for movies and stuff straight from these islands and places on Earth. Check this out. Check out this hind legs, back. This is a bull. Big old tough neck. This is his front arm. There's his eye. There's his horn. Now he's on the back. Check out this dragon head. A lot of detail in this guy's face. There's a big old horn in the back. Now look, you get close on this dragon. I mean, you get in there, you see he's got an eye. He had teeth. This is what NASA puts stuff up. This is what they're checking out. Some sort of guy. There's a guy. So let's see, where are we at here? You know what? I never showed you. I never showed you any of the big serpent heads. So we'll wrap it up with the serpent heads, and I'll get into giant leaves and leaf prints toward the end of the video, along with all the pictures. So again, Loki's children. I forgot to mention the giant snake. The giant snake. I believe all this extra skin around Loki is the serpent around him. That's a snake skin. I'll close up here in a minute. This right here, this is all the head of that giant snake right up over Loki. And I will also, let's get in closer. There's also this is very much like a T-Rex head. I got close-ups of that I will show you. But this is a giant serpent head. Check out the snake skin of the land. This stuff doesn't make sense any other way. I mean, have you ever... This is the belly of snake skin and such. Land should not look like this. Let me see. I would say... So this would have been the underbelly of the snake. And then look how it changes to where it's that over back area type fleshy scale. I'm going to show you guys one more serpent head, and then we will move in onto the pictures part of the video. and I promise you guys are just going to be absolutely stunned at what you see by all of it. I'm sorry I'm not a good narrator or moderator or whatever. I don't speak all that great. Okay, so look. This is a giant snakehead right here. Now, see him, he's got teeth. I did see somebody else point this particular area out on another video. So I know somebody else out there looks at this the same way I do. Here's his eye. There's his big fatty old cheek like they got on the serpents. This thing, it wraps around the earth. And by the way, here's the only place on earth you'll see a circular stitched area on the earth. It's just all fake. Antarctica's fake. The way that they do it, you see, you can follow this faint line.
Well, guys, part 2 of the video, here we go. Okay, so let's check it out. So this is Daniel. This is his vision, what he saw from up in the clouds. He saw the lion, the bear, the multi-headed beast, the beast with all the horns. Just a recap, starting out this picture section with the recap, kind of what I showed you already, but I will show you tons of new things. Again, study these areas. This is the lamb's head. This is the area you would see on that map. I had another video called Daniel's Dreams Solved. There was another colorful map. Check it all out. Okay, so again, the nose of the bear, the teeth, the eye, the ears, all this stuff. Showed that to you. I got over 200 pictures to show you, so please pause these and reference this stuff at your own time. Okay, so there's the lamb's head. Kind of how I see it. Again, there's that. Close up without anything if you want to study it. Again, if I were you, just on these sections, get on Google Earth, check this stuff out yourself. I'd really like to continue on to what I have not shown you yet. This is this guy, he really does have some features here. You just got to have a keen, trained eye, you know, whatever. Look very hard. The features are there, though. This is not water erosion. So it's kind of how I put that section together. Again, they've got these horns, and then their features. They all have them. You'll find this stuff all over serpent heads and stuff. Okay, so continuing on. Things can also represent, they look like other things. You know, even though this was all kind of made up of bad stuff here, it also completes this further picture on down, you know, over this way. We got the cobra. Back. Now let's take a closer look at the cobra here.
Um, got the tongue on the back of the bird. It's very long, possibly a double-headed cobra. I think this is where they try and explain to us, NASA, that this is some sort of area, I believe, where they say just that the waters don't mix, and that's why you get this dark coloration, because one area is not as salty as the other side. But really, when you look at the blue as a whole, the world as a whole, you can just say this is just because computer animation, whatever. But the blue don't really seem to be all that different. That's just a big line from that cobra. Not really sure why this one isn't coming in too well. But here on this picture, you had the slit for the eye, his mouth, and then his tongue. And I had only drawn it that far, but I believe, based on the structure of this line here, I'm thinking the tongue lays right up along on the back of the bird. So here's this other bird again. Got the wingspan going down this way. Very large wingspan. These lines running, and yes, things are distorted from the computer animated world. Of course, they got to fit the globe to fit a flat Earth to fit the globe. I'm telling you, man, if this thing was laid out properly and we could see it with just whatever they're looking at it with, without distortion, these things would only become much more clear. They would look even more like what I'm saying that they look like. The feathers down there, we'll get closer to it. Here's where the feathers end at the end of that wingspan. Take note of the islands around, or the coordinates at the bottom right. See, look, if you look at the, this is Mexico's flag. Now, this little platform here, this represents Australia. You'll see that feature at the one end. This represents the multi-headed, crowned serpent heads. Even these claws here, they're like the eyes with the main crown in the center. These horns and crowns, and then you've got the giant bird with giant snake in his mouth, and you've also got giant leaves. This tells the story of what's going on around you in the world now. People in Mexico will tell you the story about how their main city of whatever, Mexico City, was based on the legend or whatever. The guy was told to walk until he found a bird killing a snake in a similar scenario. But really, why was he told to go and search for that sign? What was it about that sign that made that sign special? Why was it, you know what I mean? This stuff represents what I'm showing you, something much bigger. See here again. Comes right up around like the feature of Australia, and depicting other beasts around in the waters. That's what this stuff is representing. So okay, so look, check this out. Here's Loki, or I believe Lucifer. This was his child, I believe, or his other wife or something. This was supposed to be by rightful type blood, but whatever. So he had some affair or whatever, I think. And anyways, this was his daughter, Hell. Hideous on the bottom, whatever. Ugly, dead, but alive and angelic. Even got the wings on the side here. Was supposed to be white with beauty up top. He had a horse that had 2 legs per leg. I'm not really sure if he's part of the cobra, overlapping of the cobra. I don't know. I'm going to leave the horse alone. But this was his son, Dorgrimond. His son, Fenrir, the wolf. he had like another child that was killed by wolves. So I think Narfi was his other rightful son or something. There's them. So again, Loki with the major headdress type crown, horns on the sides, crest to the forehead, crossed legs, as depicted in many pictures you'll see of Loki if you look him up. And you have to imagine that then that other leg, you almost see this kind of line there. Follow it down, and just like toes to a foot. I believe that is Loki. So this is kind of, had this stuff in before I was really aware of all them in that way. So again, this is what I kind of picked up on at an early time when I took these pictures. I kind of thought of Allah at the same time because, of course, the 99 names, the one and only Allah. They do everything backwards. Allah, I'm sure, is somehow connected just to Hela, who is another name of hell. Just a false god, preaching to a false god. Pray to Jesus. So getting up closer, you'll notice this halo feature called the Isle of Anticosti. Now, if you look up on like Wikipedia, it'll tell you this means some BS thing about, oh, we think it stands for something about hunting bears or something stupid like that. No. What do you think Isle of Anticosti more likely means? The Isle of the Antichrist. Right there in the middle of that halo. Bam. So, okay, then you got Fenrir the wolf. Again, we'll take a quick look at him. This is his head area, crest of the head. About where his other eye would be right here. This is the snout area. Come up. And here's his eye. Lexington, Kentucky, right there in the middle of his eye. Fur off to the side. I believe there's his hind legs back here. This picture is of the interior of his eye area. So Lexington, Kentucky is up there that way. But later I'm going to show you features in the land of giant leaf prints and trees. And to go along with how I'm telling you that water erosion had nothing to do with how these features come about, I want you to look at this, how this comes about, and then notice these vein-like areas that come off, like the interior of where you have nerves or small veins, blood vessels in your eyes. Later, I'm going to show you other water feature, or what today would call water features, but the difference in the prints and how and why they don't even make sense. The way that they set up on different areas of land, they couldn't have carved them out. Not in a short-term life world, not in an old world. This lays clues. I don't think I'm going to get to tracking the giant serpents, but really I started tracking the giant heads of these serpents around. And you can follow like breadcrumbs around the seas straight from the heads of these serpents, both the one that was up top over Loki, which I believe I'm still yet to show again, maybe. Okay, so here was the one giant, probably the eye right there. And then, so this is a giant snake head right here sitting over Loki right here. And then here's this like T-Rex head. Got the eyebrow lines. Just like straight out of Jurassic Park. And then you got Thor here. Again, I believe this is like belly skin area of the giant serpent. This is the head of the serpent that's down south by Antarctica. many features going on here. Here's the pupil of the eye right here. Closer up on that a T-Rex head I was talking about. So here's the brow lines, the nose, obviously, the mouth, and then even here you've got the points of the teeth. These are teeth. People can say that nature repeats itself all over, but I don't see anywhere on any of the heads that I will show you, and I'm going to show you a ton. These features never end up repeating themselves in the wrong place, ever. They're not random. Coincidence is gone. This is all going to be proof. So here's this dragon here. I'll get some closer ups right here. I'm going to show you. So here's Michigan upside down. That's a bat wing, I believe. All this kind of, it's webbing, you know, just like the skin flesh of a dragon wing, what you would expect. Now notice these lines, just like in your forearm bones and stuff. He's got the little claw from his wing. He's even got the little horn on his head. Closer up, now you see these features. These are not man-made features, roads, trees, the way they were left. These are life sprung from the veins of this stuff. These are all vein patterns. Look at this muscle pattern right here. You know, you see this stuff. I'm telling you. It's more than just a theory here. Somebody's going to be able to back me up. Somebody that's a good archaeologist, geologist, print analyst, somebody. Again, follow the features. Just like how bodies are made up, veins, bones, the creases are right. This is a hand, claw, like hand right here. Let's just move on from this one. So again, an early picture on. Pretty funny. I got it. All I really had was so much to use to trace this guy, and I chose a highlighter. And come to find out, I really think that's Thor. And so, really, the Golden Boy wings they make sense. I think I got that right. Getting a close up on his head. See? The brow line. One back ears. Somewhere in here, you've seen this type of artwork in old cartoons or something. I feel like I've seen a lot of the things that I've come across somewhere before. So Russia and China, they're known to be like the land of 4 dragons. So if you follow this as a neck, and you come up across, you got the little hair-like features, the real hairy back ear. This is the top of the head, the brow line right here. Here's the eye, and the cheek area, the mouth, and in fact, I don't know if I can zoom in, or, because I mean, really, you can even appear to see the teeth on this dragon. Then you got this other neck here. You got this head here, top of the beak area. This area here, it even almost looks like you can see where the tongue dried right out, petrified. And here's the eye cavity. I don't necessarily know that I'm getting all 4 main dragons here in this area, but this is another cool one right here. Check this guy out. There's the face area, eye, mouth, and look how the features change from the top of his body scales to below. just like a snake, serpent, whatever. Let's take a closer look. Look at this. This is the underbelly of a dragon, guys. Look at the scale features. Not water erosion. Why did it do this thing? Why is water erosion and luck and the Big Bang and everything such a conveniently just lucky artist of nature? No, I don't believe it. Here we got this right here is a claw. I'll get a little closer up on this claw, but this is a then you got the little whatever legs and stuff that comes out. This is a scorpion. They got this tough plated back, skeletal type back feature of the scorpion. Comes up obviously right there to the stinger. And let me see if we get closer on this guy. So I kind of outlined him here right there. Got a 3D kind of shot there. Let me show you the claw. So when you get up on the claw and you see it really is a feature that seems to go up, and they want to keep this stuff blurry because, like I said, if this stuff wasn't blurry, this stuff would look way more like the stuff I'm saying it is. Tiny. So you get these small little teeth, just like in the claws of the scorpions, sharp little gripper teeth. Right there in the claws, there they are. These are not coincidental. This is not from water. Let's move on. Here we got a bull. Check out. You notice all this. This is what water current is here. This is not water current. This is the back, legs, body, arm, head, horns, bow, and this is what's in front of him. Check out this guy. Look at the detail in this dragon head. All the scales, got the nostril, got the teeth right there, line of the mouth. He's got a big horn. Okay, now, and I could go on and on about music and all the famous people. They know all this shit. This is what they share the truth amongst themselves. You got the ram, whatever, on the back of a big old water dragon, a big old horn type feature like this or that. Let's take a look again. So here he is. There's that ram right on the back of this horn dragon in the water. I did not take this picture. I don't know where this is located, but I really like this picture because I really like what's coming next. This is probably my favorite part of the whole video. So check this out. Unicorns are mentioned 9 times in the King James Bible, a medieval translation that remains popular to this day. Will the unicorn be willing to serve thee, or abide by thy crib? Canst thou bind the unicorn with band in the furrow? Now, furrow, with reference to the eyebrows, tighten or be tightened and lower in anxiety, concentration, or disapproval, so wrinkling the forehead. His brows furrowed, and okay. So check this out. This is why this one's my profile picture for Nautilus News. What you have here, folks, is the first unicorn you have ever truly seen. Proof unicorns did exist. This is the hair, mane, whatever they call the back area. This is even straight out of the Bible. This thing got binded. This thing was acting up and somebody wanted to lower his stress level a little bit. They binded him. Coming in closer. Check him out. What's up with the black band? Random? nature uh, did it on accident? No. No, sir. Got this Titan head, eagle, something. The eye, the mouth, the beak. I believe this was a big laid out skull. Again, these features are made from, decaying things that are decaying. There's an eye. It probably came up in the snout feature. Check this bull out. So here's the back, tail, one leg, two leg, 3, 4. Got this head. He's got the horns. He's got the eye features. And let's take a look at his skull. Because just like when you see a skull, like a dead bull skull, what do? They come up and they rise up from the top, straight out over the edge. So let's go in even closer. Look at this feature. This island is a giant beast. It's a bull, and this stuff comes right out over the water because it is a decaying, settling skull. You see? You see, earthquakes, to me, I believe, are just all the tectonic plates. They're just settling bodies, skeletons of these giant beasts. They're just settling, still decaying, and that's what makes an earthquake. So here, check out this bat. The water separates oftentimes where these creatures landed, and how it separates their features, like drawings. Just trace the lines. This bat right here, they got these little fingers, the claws. There's his claw, his mouth. Let's take a closer look at him. Poor little bat done lost his little claw, snapped right off his finger. Used to go right there, I'm thinking. Oh, there's his other ear, snapped right off his head. And you get close into these things and you notice that from above, high enough, Google Earth likes to keep it looking like there's farm fields covering 30% of the earth. Like everybody's got their own crops grown in their own farms. But really, you get down to this and you see just all the pitting from the decayed flesh, how it really petrified. When you get close, these things really show that they were giant bodies decaying. Although I do believe some areas of land are root areas of trees, giant trees. But this guy, however, I get from this feature, I believe is another big bat. Let's take a closer look at him. You get this hand feature here, and every rock thing. Like, again, everything is something. There's no stone or land that was not something living. So you get this eye feature here. Obviously his mouth area, his head. This guy right here. Okay, let me tell you about this angel looking guy here. There's his eye, kind of nose mouth area, wing. Look at, you get all this, but it clears up. This guy right here coined the term, a little bird told me. Check this little feature out here. I'm almost certain that's got to be the foundation for that whole saying right there. Because this guy right here, either that or it's meant to look like a thumb and a hand holding him. I don't know, but I would say he's like, man, a little bird told me. And there's the little bird. So this whole island I will show you is a big dig site. I'm going to show you all the shit that they're digging up around there. This guy was actually on the wing of that guy. And this is the only video or picture I've ever taken on Google Earth that lit up this way, but I'm certain there is like this face here, nose, eyes, head, and then like a wing. And this picture just lit right up for me. It was like, hey, good job. Looking, way to be searching for the truth. This guy's pretty cool. Big old evil sucker, though. I mean, they're not cool. But look, so this is an eye feature here. This is where his old mouth was open. He got a big old mouth, big jaw. This guy's like straight out of something I've seen in TV. Horn up here curled, because it's like he's catching a little fruit. He's about to eat a piece of fruit in midair or something. Because when you start zooming out, he's got a hand. Watch what happens. He gets big. Look at this guy. Got the horn up there, his eye, his mouth. There's the fruit he's about to catch. He done tossed it right up with his hand. He's about to catch it. He's got his little bat claw up here, his bat wings. Look at it. This is a giant beast. Moving on. Got a leg part here. I think this is the pelvic part here. This guy is really cool, and he has a special feature about him as well. So he almost appears to be, this is not the especially cool part, but could be a cyclops of some type. One big horn, huge jaw. Let me show you this. His teeth. Big in the back, littler as they go. Have you ever seen this feature anywhere else on land? No. Look how it even casts a shadow the way it should. These are teeth rolled over. This is not lava. None of that BS. Rolled right over the side of the hill there. Really, that was a really awesome find. I'm glad I got it. Again, this guy right here, you see, he's got his teeth. Yeah, big old island with teeth. Here's his slit for his mouth. There's the eye cavity. You can see the little bumps from his spine right there. So let's take another look. Here's from another angle. You look at any crocodile skull and this and that, you'll see these features and stuff. And look, there's that spine column right where it should be. You got the eye. Here's another alligator type island, and with teeth as well, teeth features. Another teeth right there. The eye, kind of the nostril areas probably. He's laid out like that. A little bit closer up on some of these teeth areas. This guy right here, okay, so I'm pretty sure this is his eye. I got it wrong in the following pic because it was from early on, so I'm thinking this is the eye of kind of like a big old boar. Got the ear up here. This is his head. This is his mouth. This guy as well, he has teeth to look at. So these are those bottom long, front teeth. These are teeth features. Now let me close up on his little molar gaps up there. These are teeth, people. Big old giant teeth. Look. How else would you explain these? Just because, it's, I expect you to be confused maybe at first, but look, there's no denying this stuff. they are what they are, and they're always in the right location. Um, Here's another bull. Here's his eye. I think this is probably the first thing I found. Uh, Mouth area, back of the jawline. He's got that horn. Comes over. And then when you turn him sideways up here like this, you seem to get this giant whale feature. Right here's the head, like here's the eye area. He's even got the ripples of maybe where some teeth would have been, his bottom jaw, and then a fin, whatever. Here's a big old bowl. This is like a Midwest United States. Here's the eye. Now just follow along with the lines. This is the top of the head. This is where the nostril is. And the nose. And then here's the line for his mouth. Bottom under his jaw. Fatty cheek comes up, and then here's his ear. Right here in this outline here. This is the ear. Back out to the Rat Islands, we've got this T-Rex raptor mix looking dinosaur. He's got his head up here. Got the eye, the nose cavity, and let's take a look. He's got the spine area back there. It looks like he had some little feet. Got the grooves again for good area for teeth to have been. Except the eyes there. He had an awkward long head. And there you can see his raised brow. And here he is some back from spine features, I would say. Got this guy right here. Clearly something like a stegosaurus here. This one needs very little explaining, I'm sure, because if you don't see this, I'm sure you don't see anything else. Check out this big fish. Big old fish right here. He's got his eye. He's got his big old fish lips. Just like that. What was that one about that fish in the submarine? The Talented Mr. Limpet or something. Here's his fins. I think we get a little closer. Something about Mr. Limpet. Got these fins. That's a fish, people. Okay, so then, this is where they get their real ideas from. These people aren't creative. They don't have the imaginations you'd think they do. They get their ideas from islands. They always have. Just look into all the monster movies. They really, all the King Kongs and all that, all their monsters represent islands. I've got tons of them. Water dragon. Here's one that you kind of gotta, you don't pay attention to the island, this one. He's underwater. You look at the outline of, say, let me back up. Now you see him better. This all shows how you can look at things differently. You might not see him from one height. You gotta keep looking from another height, because then you get this head like a seahorse. There's the mouth area. There's his eye. Okay, so just in this one here, I want you to pay attention from right here. Just this bulky, bold face area, and this bottom, this tail right here. Because I'm going to show you where they get their artwork. It's not from being all groovy. It's from islands. Here's where they get Aerosmith's artwork from right here. So I'm not the only one that's looking at this stuff like this, people. Check this out. They're there again, another Aerosmith. I want you to study real hard. Look at this mouth area. This her dress is an island. There's the body. Now this is a head. There's his eye. I want you to compare this. And also, they did the same thing with this picture right here. Here's an eye. Here's kind of the nose and the body. Pay attention to this green area. Gets a little thicker in the middle, real thicker on the bottom. Because look at this. Bam. What do you got? You got the eye. You got this thing. He's got the little mouth. Little ripples of where his teeth would be. Gets thick with the green. A little thick in the middle. I'll show you again in the back. A little bit closer up. Again, he's got the ripples right where teeth would have fit in. But these ripples, again, nature didn't repeat those ripples around any other side of this island or in any other area. Just where it makes sense. Okay. Look at the depth. It kind of gets thinner above, but his body below waistline area, that's thicker, how it should be. See? This guy here, tail area back, and then you come up to his head, and got all these features, neck, got this head, here's the eye, got the mouth, a little bit closer up, you can check him out. Now underneath, again, your jawline breaks away under there. Here's a good angle. Water didn't carve up into his head. It's open there because it was already like that way. That's his mouth, That's the bottom of his skull. Now check out this bird right here. This is probably like a vulture type skeleton area. Got the teeth area, eye area, beak area, his bill snapped off. Teeth area. I'm assuming. Here's where his eye would be. He had all the little feathers and stuff. I don't know if this is a troll or a dinosaur. I really don't know what this is, but he was something. Yeah. Had his eyes up there. He had this big old troll-like nose. His mouth. Kind of like The Simpsons. Yeah. So here's where I said, look, they got dig sites up on these islands. And they build these runways right up around and up to giant. This is a runway. They land planes on this thing. And then they build roads driving right up around and through the big old beasts. Here's the body, neck, and head. I'll get closer up on him. Here's the body, neck. Here's the eye. Look, he even had his tongue out or something right there. It's the mouth. Tell me that don't look like a Komodo dragon or something. Or whatever dragon. This picture here, look, again, another runway. And then you got this horse head right here. And neck. It's a giant neck. Almost like a giraffe, maybe. Got the head. I'll closer up on him. So you got the nostril, mouth, top of the head. They're driving around up there. I don't know if they're doing it for fossil fuels or, I'm sure they get that stuff out of it as well, no matter what, or just for study. This is, that's a head of something. It's a mouth, like a giraffe. And again, this is where they get their ideas from. Pokemon artwork is back of the head. Here's the eye. There's the top of the head. He's got them little antlers spread out in all these funky directions. There's the front of the nose. You know, this is the head of something. This guy's pretty cool. So you got the top of his head. There's his eye area. Come around up his nose. He's got these nostrils right here. And he's got these like lion or camel-like feature of a mouth. And then his arms or something are almost like wings. Little wings for arms or something. But then he's got, I don't know, maybe these are like hoofs, like camel toes. Something's going on here. He is something. He's got a little twisted, like a ram horn or something, I'd say. So again, there's kind of, I don't know if these are all where they camp at in their whatever, their cabins or whatever, but they've got other beasts around. We'll take a closer look at these. Got this fish right here. There's the eye, mouth, back. And I don't know if they're just living around the area or what. Or if those are dig holes. But this is the back of something here. Follow up. This is the neck. Come up around this head. Got the beak, the underbill. He's got this horn on his head and the front of his body. Another fish type deal. Mouth, eye, back of him. This guy right here, kind of like a gopher or groundhog or something. He could be a T-Rex for all I know. I don't know, but they built it around this guy. And then you come up and you see this is his bottom of his jaw. Right here is the bottom of the jaw. Here's his head. Come up around this line. There's the nose. There's the eye. Again, just tracing the lines that are there in front of me. Built right around him. This is the back of something like a turtle type deal. There's his head. Got the top of the beak, under beak. And an eye area. Come up. He's laying down. He fell on his face. Here's another one similar. Beak. The under beak line. This guy right here, this feature, if you consider this to be like a giant mouth area here, really reminds me of the beast that they used in the new Clash of the Titans movie, the Kraken, I believe, in that movie. Really, check him out real close. Okay, I like how they're talking about the polypus, many-footed, just describe several things, blah, blah, blah. But this part here is that while Olaus Magnus of 1539 drew a giant lobster here, this is what caught my attention. Why did they make a point to say here? As if, you know, it really had a meaning of this spot. And then they go on to say his text describes an octopus showing true confusion, blah, blah, blah. You'll find this everywhere. They always, just like in that part about the unicorn, if you'd have kept writing on, it would have said something about it not being true. They always say how they're not true. But look, if you consider this to be the connection of where Alaska meets with Russia, check this out. Bam. Another one. Right there for you. Lobster. Got the little legs all around. The littler claw. And the big main claw. Let's get a closer look on that claw. So, you know, just like the sailors told of the big giants of the seas, all the stories are true. Look, the stuff in the Bible is, I believe it all. But I believe that there's so much more. I don't believe whoever men are that decided to put the Bible together. I think they left a whole lot out, because with the whole truth, then we'd understand it all. But I'm trying to put it together for you guys. Check it out. Another character here. Here you go. Another head. There's more to his body, but I just brought this part of him for the video. I believe this and one more. Bottom of his beak, top, and then that back horn, and then he's got the features for his spine. He had, I don't know, I think his wing was over the top of him there. But one thing I want to point out with this guy is when you get close into a lot of these things that I've been showing you, the eye areas, like I said, you get close and you start to notice these off-colored areas of water and stuff, and they try and play like, this stuff is here because this is what was the result of different things in their bodies, in their mind, whatever you want to call it, how they all decay differently. Here's some artwork, and people, they obviously have more to say in their artwork than they're leading us to believe. You just notice the snake in this picture, but you might not notice the true design of the white, splash going on. If you consider this to be an eye, and follow this front bridge line here where it gets darker here over a jaw area and a bottom mouth, and then notice just how flashy it gets just right here. There is so much more truth to these pictures and hidden secrets. I guarantee you what I show you next they had in mind when they drew this picture, whoever did this picture. Right here, this was the splash area. So again, it even got darker right there at about the bridge area in front of the nose, and here's the eye. I'm going to show you more to this scene. So here's the top in front of his nose, mouth area, jawline. He's got the flashiness about right here where I said it would be. And then you follow him up, and here is the head of that big serpent, which I don't know if he had a horn or if this is part of where he coiled around like in that scene. But he's got the mouth line there, right where it should be, bottom jaw line. I'm sure this scene right here had something to do with that picture. Oh, this one's a little hard to see. These are just all part of something that comes up right over to this guy here. He's got this Indian dress type deal. Stuff going on in the ear area. Brow line. You got the eye, the nose, and the mouth. Now he was all covered with this false, we're cropping out here. We're growing turnips and potatoes. But no, you look close enough, and there's really detail here of something that we're all missing standing on the ground. Here's his nose area, the mouth. There's things here to see. Google Earth, I believe, is the true missing link of our time. Look at this, something evil, something very sinister about this, almost like a bat-like or werewolf skin feature nose and this eye. You even see the crease of where the eye comes in. This is an eye, big old eye on the earth. There's the eye with pupil and the skin feature. This is an evil, evil face right here. Okay, this tells me we're getting close to the end. Let's talk a bit about the giant leaves and trees prints. This is the last thing that people don't really seem to see. They notice the flat Earth logo on the United Nations emblem, but they don't really talk about the olive branches, how big they are in comparison to the world. So I'm going to show you just how these fit right in these are leaf patterns. Follow the veins. Next leaf, veins. They're all individual leaves, just as if you were to press a bush into something flat and soft that could grip around its features. It would hold their features. Look at this big leaf right here at the end. This is not water erosion. Water didn't carve this side down this way, this side that way, and this third side down this way. You know, water carves like it does on beaches. Very smooth on the way down. So let me move on. I'm going to show you all the leaf prints I got. Check these guys out. Veins from the leaves. They sprung the life of the earth. Just as it talked about, I believe, in the book of Enoch, or wherever, and also maybe in the book of Bible or whatever. These veins, these trees, after the angels labored them down, spoken about, I think, chapter 66, verse 2, and as well as 88, verse 3 or 5, 60, 80 something, I don't know. These are leaves. So you follow, you got the stem here. Comes up, explain this feature to me. Why doesn't life grow there? It was really just imprinted by a giant leaf. And because, like I say in chapter 66, verse 2 of the book of Enoch, it said, I believe that was the part where it said, and after the angels labored the giant trees down, God laid his hands upon them and pressed them into the earth to preserve them. So these are preserved for us to find. And this is how you can go about looking for these features. They're pressed in the sides of the land before they were gone into the blue abyss, the water. See, water didn't carve these features down certain sides and depths of land, but not on other surrounding borders of the islands or whatever land you're looking at. And again, this is also different. Like I said, I mentioned in Fenrir's Eye, the layout of the, the difference in prints of the water. When you're talking about trees and tree prints and leaves, look for the floral scene in the picture. If it you got the branch, it gets bigger, it goes out, it gets smaller towards the end. You can tell it's a branch, and the scene is very floral. The leaves are all around. So again, I'll show you, and then you can see here, this is different than this features over here. So why would water separate this? Why wouldn't it all be similar? Again, and they spring off of larger areas that often make rivers, canals, whatever, from where the bigger branches were. So look, you find the floral pattern. This is where the leaves fell. The branch was heavier here. It made a bigger impact, bigger print, deeper, collects more water. The leaves sprung to life. These are not due to any farmers saying, oh, I'm going to carve, the tree lines out for my farmland. They don't follow. No farmer designed these this way except for maybe trimmed, that or that. But for the most part, they lay right through their stuff because this is where they all had nothing to do with human shaping. These were actually taken from an underwater area. If you look close, you can see how these go about in their veins. Look at the squiggly lines. These are how the veins are inside of plants and leaves. So then they even got smaller ones with smaller leaves around. A little bit closer up on that one. Almost done, folks, almost done. Now, so anybody that's ever been confused about these features on land, now you can tell them, look, this is where giant trees and leaves landed, and this was basically the bloodline of those trees, springing life to our earth. All all these bushy leaf prints. Look at them; they just pressed right up into the hill. All these are leaves. Big old bushy branch fell right here. All individual leaves. They start the way they should, and they end in points because leaves often end with pointed tips. Just look at these pictures hard. Pause them. Study them. Ask me about them. This is a weird gothic type scene right here. This has got some weird stuff going on. I don't know. This almost looks like some, I don't know, somebody's facing a cross. This looks like a torso. Possibly a head next, next to it. Let me just get closer up on this one for you. I'll show you. So here, tell me you don't think that's a torso. Pecs, nipples, abs. Somebody got turned to stone pretty quick. Here's a head, seemingly a head. This looks like a half-human body with a beast back half. Even got the front leg kind of curled over there. Back, maybe tail. Look pretty hard on this one. So this is like a head here. Here's the top of the head. Here's the eye. Black is the eye, the white of the eye. Beast-like mouth, upper mouth. Got this neck that comes down this long body, it looks like. Or maybe this is his front leg, way back here. Other leg. And the back here's the back leg, like a tiger striped something with a tail. And in his mouth is this like a rat. It's got an ear, an eye, the pointy rat face, front arm, and the back body, back leg body. Here's another one a little bit closer up. There's the body of the beast, head of the beast, the eye, the rat's head, and the eye, the body. Shout out to a guy named Jonathan Kleck. He actually pointed out this right here. This is, I don't know, the Vatican or St. Peter's Basilica or whatever, something. But just showing you how all these, like the Catholic Church acting like a good religion, but man, they're evil in there. They got this serpent's head going on, crowned horn serpent's head, the pointed tongue. This guy's on it. He's got the gift of sight too. He's seeing what's going on. So check out his stuff. He's pointing out what things really are that they have us coming to worship at and all this. Okay, so we're about done here. So I'm going to show you just a little bit about how they are using evil to beckon us, our children, in ways that you don't seem to notice. There's a lot going on in this picture. So if you look, just like the chimera I showed you of Australia, follow this line here. Here's this. He's got this mouth. Here's an eye. You got that top of his head. You follow this neckline. This is the neck. Mouth. The eye. This is one of the 4 smaller headed beasts. Now, I did this quite faint, so I'm sorry. I should have used a bolder ink pen, whatever. But if you follow, here is real faint the bottom jawline, the top of the jaw. This little notch is his nostril. Look at, they put this lizard eye right on the back shoulder of this guy, right here. Here's a back outline. So this arm makes up the neck of the second one. Here is the 4th neckline, comes up around. Now I colored this in, like the tongue, right here. And they got the serpent bottom jaw here, Comes right up. You got the gum lines, teeth showing, the nostril, the slit for the eye. And then here is an eye. Look at this for the pupil. There's the eyebrow line. Here's the front top beak. Comes down to the bottom beak. Could be considered as an eye there, but he makes up the eye of another beast. So here is this arm makes up his neck. So here is that beast in this little area. Okay. So then here is what would be considered like the lion's head. Now you use that tongue area as the eyeball. Here's the big old upper jaw of the mouth, the bottom part jaw of the mouth of that beast. And then here is either that serpent or the bull, like I said, points out in them old depictions of the chimera right here, wrapped up in that scene. And then the bigger beast use the smaller one's mouth as a bigger beast's nose, and his eye is for this beast right here, comes up this way, and his tongue is sticking out, and inside of his mouth there was even this little snake serpent head sticking out of the mouth. So, let me just kind of point out to you here. There they all are. There's a little serpent snake sticking out. There's the tongue. Here's this beast here. Here's that eye. You can see the features of this serpent's jawline. There are the teeth. Right there with the gums showing. There's the eye. There's that line for this mouth. It's all there if you look close. Upside down, another story. On one side, if you trace it out, you will get the lamb's head, dead lamb's head, with the other side, and being the neck now of this other side, a crowned horn of a beast. And there's his bottom beak, jaw, his top, his nostrils, as well as a giant snake. And it even has, I traced these out, there are scale squares, whatever there. And then these, I highlighted these as well, but there are lines here that show just like you'd see on like a viper snake or whatever. A lot of evil calling out to your kids. Looks just like that. This guy here, same deal. We're going to flip him upside down and take a look. What happens when you color him in? Here is the ear of the dead lamb, the head, the red shotgun shells made the blood. There's where his tongue would be. Color him in. There you go. His eye is right there. I didn't do nothing but trace what is there. So then they use the grenades to make the bigger scales that you'd see on the fatty, cheekier area of anything that's got scales like that. Same, the nose area, and then he's got these horns of this beast with an eye. And then he's got even teeth here. And he is all scaled up, and he's wrapped around the neck of the lamb, killing it. Oh, and by the way, if you look at this thing, that's no kind of army, nothing military symbol. That is a crowned serpent with its tongue out, if you look at that on your own time. So anybody that plays Call of Duty, they know that they have the lobby area headquarters. The way they have their headquarters laid out is just like the Chimera scene. The cup, they had this for St. Patrick's Day theme. On the cup, you could very faintly see, but they had 4 beasts on the one side of the cup, as they show on many Chimera depictions. The handle represented a serpent, and then on the back side of the cup, depending on what angle you were looking at, they designed the cup in a crushed foil type design, so you could only see the bigger heads from different angles, the beast, the lamb, whatever, and depending on where the light was shining and how you looked at it. It was a very hidden, in plain sight scene. So then, if you consider this cup to be the chimera of Australia and consider the grass area to be the water, then you consider what wraps around their headquarters area here to be the Leviathan or the seven-headed dragon, where his extra arm that or neck stretches out this way. And if you look real faint, you'll see they have him outlined. That beast head. There's the bottom line of the jawline. Here is the line of the top of the jaw, the beak, and here's the eye. And if you really trace it out, it is crowned and horned. There's the neck. So people, I'm not the only person looking at these things this way. People very high up in the company, there's as much stuff as they put out and all this stuff. Whoever's high up in the company has to know about it because it's in all their pictures, really beckoning your kids to come to evil. I'll admit, I enjoyed playing the game very much. I gotta put it down though. Again, here's some more music stuff. They use the shape of the cat's head. This cat looks super evil, but that is the shape of Australia that they are depicting. This is proof that it's not just me looking at this. Now look at this clue in the arm here, again like a serpent arm. So now you take the shape of Australia, like the bottom of the cat's mouth right here. Here's the ears. Here's the ears. And then if you considered that last arm that went up that about here, is how it makes that claw-like hand pat. Oh, let me show you right here. That's what they're talking about, people. This is what they know. This is how they call out to us. You know, other people know what's going on, and they act like it's all just a creative imagination, but really they know the truth, and they're not telling because they're evil, and they don't want you to know about God. They don't want you to know about Jesus. I think this is the last picture right here. So this is a flat Earth picture. I believe whoever, I just clipped this from somebody else's video. But this came from I believe 1950s world atlas from a high resolution, high altitude camera depicting flat Earth, and shows you the real size of what everything is. Look how, as he mentioned, the United States is nowhere near the size as what they depict it to be in the official pictures of the world. So I guess that's it for the pictures right there.
That's it for the video, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe to Nautilus News. God bless you, and sail on.